Good evening, folks, and thank you for coming and visiting our autism vlog. Stephen had a couple of last-minute details that he needed to take care of, so he asked me to go ahead and step in, and I thought I could handle this. Some of the topics that have been asked about circle around the idea of why is it that our children don't seem to get as excited about the holiday season as perhaps some of the other children. It's not that they're not getting excited, it's that they're having to deal with what's happening in their environment that is different. And we all know that different is not always good with our children. Some of the things that you might not realize is there are changes in their routine. They're trying to deal day to day with what's going on with society, people coming up to them, changes in their environment, changes in their diet, changes in their routine. The holiday season is all about change. We maybe will bake things we never baked during the rest of the year. We go visit people we didn't visit. We have more people visit us that didn't visit. So there's a lot of things that go on, and our boys and girls are having to deal with this. So parents, take heart. They're not getting the holiday spirit. They're just trying to deal. They're trying to cope with everything that's going on. So as a parent that's already been through this many, many years, I thought maybe it might be helpful to give some of you a couple of the things that I've learned through my experience of the holidays with my boys. The first biggest disruption was the Christmas holiday from school. This was a nightmare for us because while most children look forward to a change and, oh, I'm off from school, no homework, no routine, for my boys that wasn't the case. Their routine was they got up at such an hour, they went to school. When they get to school, they had routine. They did this activity, transition to this activity, transition to this activity. That's not happening at home. Now, even after school hours, there were specific routines that we would follow. Well, now that's being disrupted because all of a sudden what? We need to do Christmas shopping. We need to decorate our homes. We need to get those all-important Christmas cards out. We need to make the plans for the Christmas holiday, and we need to make the plans for the special meal that we're going to serve. And so we do extra shopping. We're involved with more people. We have more activity going on. For a child that is having trouble with the routine activity and holding it together, think about all of this compounding that. That makes it even that much more difficult. So here's some ideas. Let's first talk about the change to the routine from school to vacation. Talk about this a couple of days before. Give the child an idea of what's good. Set up those expectations and then make sure you stick to them. Again, routine is so important to these boys and girls, and not only is the routine, but also that they know what's expected of them, and then even maybe walk them through a couple of scenarios. That will help decrease their stress level. You know, Santa, for most of us, is a very lovable, friendly, cuddly guy, but for them, he might in fact be a very, very frightening man. It's a big, strange man with a beard, dressed very differently from everybody else, and then you're expecting him to go, your child to go up to this person, talk to this stranger, and then even sometimes get on his lap. Think about that. That's not something he or she would have done on a normal routine day, but now we have these expectations because we want those pictures, okay? Find an autism-friendly Santa. They are out there, okay? I know one year my son Stephen, I didn't know any better, so I took Stephen to go see Santa. He went up there and Santa was like, ho, 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 grabbed Stephen, immediately put him on his lap. Stephen turned around and he looked up at him, and I just knew this was going to be trouble. Before I had a chance to do anything, Stephen went down, Stephen went up, and Santa got a bloody nose. Not a good memory for him, nor was it for his brother, who was standing afterwards to watch, and the decision was quickly made. That was not happening. Thomas wasn't going near this dude. So a little preparation on what's expected, and then don't push them if they don't want to do this. As far as the Christmas shopping, if you have someone can help by watching your child and you go do the shopping alone, that is preferable. Christmas shopping, it's the music, the decorations, the volume of people. It's just more than these boys and girls can handle, okay? Now let's talk about when you come home. You're home, you're gonna decorate it. Do it in stages, but keep one room, one area of your home that is not decorated, that looks normal. Because in this way, when they're feeling overwhelmed, you can help your child to understand they can retreat to that area for that safety factor that they are looking for that routine that they're looking for. It's really, really important. Now let's talk about the big day, whether it's Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, El Eid, or Christmas. What you want to do is walk your child through what is expected during that holiday. We're going to go to Grandma's house. Uncle Jimmy's going to be there, Aunt Alice is going to be there, Aunt Tina, Aunt Jeannie, and they're all going to be there. All your cousins are going to be there. Okay? And what you want to do is help them to understand that once we go in, we're going to say hello to everybody, but again, have that safe place where they can retreat to and that not have any consequences that are negative to them. Then they can come and go as they please. Let's talk about the meal. The foods are going to be different. That may or may not work for this child. Everything else has changed so much. So you know what? It's okay if they have that bowl of cereal for Christmas because that's their comfort food. So have that available to them. Now I'm going to go on a little bit more about Christmas because that's the tradition in my family. But if you celebrate Kwanzaa or you celebrate Hanukkah or El Eid, I'm sure there are other traditions and you can manipulate them this way. So for Christmas, we know that our family gets together, very large family, and all the cousins and the aunts and uncles and friends and people we haven't seen all year are going to be there. So we would bring the boys in. Stephen would kind of take a look around, so would Thomas, and then my husband and I would take shifts in taking the boys upstairs to my mother-in-law's bedroom. This gave Stephen the time he could play, he could recalibrate, and then they would come down and get some food and then go right back upstairs with either my husband or myself, play again, and then when Santa was coming, they would come down and join in with a little bit, as much as they could handle, which usually meant they would come, get their gift, and then they would leave, and then they'd go back upstairs until Santa was getting ready to leave. We'd bring them back down again. So in other words, we let them determine how much of what they were able to handle. This was the best way to handle the celebration. Did it mean my husband and I lost out on parts of the day? It did. But it became more important to us for Stephen and Thomas to enjoy the holiday so that when the holiday rolls around again the next year, the boys remembered that, oh yes, I saw this, but then I went upstairs and I played Monopoly with Daddy. Or I played with Santa a little bit. Or I saw my cousins. But it wasn't that overwhelming rush that they would otherwise get. So it's important to plan ahead. It's also important, moms and dads, for you to take time out for yourself. You know, if you have that community that we have been talking about that helps you to raise your child, this is the time to take babysitting turns. I'm going to take Kathy's child so she and her husband can do something to celebrate the holiday. And then tomorrow, they're going to take my children so my husband and I could have a little bit of holiday cheer as well. It's important for you to survive this and to enjoy this so that you too will not begin to dread the holidays. I'm so glad you came and you joined and listened in, and I'm hoping that I was able to give you some good insight as to what you could do to not only survive but thrive during the holidays with your children. They're wonderful children. They're God's gifts to us, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. And please remember, if you like what you've seen so far, what we need you to do is to like, comment, and how does Stephen do it? Subscribe. Merry Christmas.